Alright, so you see all these people running with ease and you want to learn how to do that too. But you've tried it and you can't last but a few minutes before you're huffing and puffing and you feel clunky and you just want to quit. Well, most likely you're going about it all wrong. I've created a guide that will show you how to get from the couch to 3 miles running non-stop. So if you're interested, I've included a link below to my free guide. But first, I want to share a few things that will hopefully make it easier for you and will also help you to understand the design of my guide better. So here are some things to know about the guide. First, running takes time to develop. If that scenario I previously described sounds like you, then most likely you are going out way too fast. Slow way down. I don't care if someone next to you could beat you speed walking. Pace yourself and just go as slow as you need to be able to finish the mileage that's before you. So if the plan says run a half a lap, then slow down enough to where you can actually complete that, and that seems feasible. If you are truly a new runner and you may need to stop and walk at times, that's okay too. In fact, my guide begins with walk-run intervals. Try to find a safe, warm place to run where you can measure the actual distance easily, like a track or a treadmill. This makes it a lot easier when you're trying to see how long you need to be able to run. It's cold outside here. It's almost Christmas. It's time to celebrate the birth of our Savior Jesus Christ. And I know sometimes running in the winter can be challenging. The cold months, it's hard. But the great thing about training in the winter is that it makes for some great summer runs. Second, you should only increase your mileage by 10% each week. And I believe this is a general recommendation. Since running is considered an impact sport, the body needs to be able to adapt to the stress that you're putting on it, especially like your joints and your bones, especially in your feet. So the 10% rule is to minimize the risk of injury. So my guide lays out a plan that estimates a 10% increase each week, give or take. It's not exact, but the increase is gradual because of these reasons. So if you stick with it, you will get to 3 miles. Third, give your body a chance to adapt and learn muscle memory. That is actually a real thing, but it needs a series of repetitions. This is when the hard things begin to feel easier. So in my first episode of my series on how to train for a half marathon, I mentioned that this guide would be coming out and that it would be limited to a number of weeks. But I decided to increase the time frame to ensure that I was giving just ample time to get the desired mileage in. I believe that you want to develop a foundation of fitness before you start training for any race. Give yourself a good 3 months minimum to do this. Fourth, you will notice that I decreased the mileage slightly after a couple of weeks before I pick back up again, and this is on purpose. The body needs time to rest. It's been under new stressors, and so a little extra time to recover is always wise before moving on. A lot of plans do this actually, so if you find that it still hasn't been enough time, just give yourself a week off and start back up when you feel healthy. But just know that that first run back is probably going to be a tough one, but knowing this in advance already makes it easier. And finally, learn the difference between discomfort versus pain. Running is a mental sport as well as a physical one, and your mind will tell you sometimes to stop at some point just for self-preservation. So you have to learn when you're actually having a pain that could lead to an injury versus just discomfort. So from my experiences, when I see that I'm having tightness or a piercing or sharp pain, then I stop and reevaluate the situation. If it's a tightness like in my leg muscle, then maybe I just need to stretch once I'm warmed up. Don't stretch on cold muscles. But then I'll just try again once I'm warmed up and I'll see if I feel better. But if it's like a sharp or shooting pain, then maybe I need a day to recover. I might even need a week to recover. Sometimes I might even need to see a medical doctor. So it really depends on the type of pain and the location of the pain. If it feels like a pain that's strenuous or taxing and you think it might lead to injury, then maybe you need to take a little time off or go see someone about it. But you really need to evaluate the situation and do what's right for you, because everybody's different and you know your medical situation better than anyone else would. So assess it as such. If you know that you're having pain in a certain location and you need to call 911 or see a medical doctor, then please stop and do so. Of course, if there is tightness or pain in the chest area or any area of concern, call 911 and speak to a doctor immediately. I am not a medical doctor. I am not even a certified trainer. This is just my perspective for all you newbies out there that are trying to learn how to run. So if you have any medical issues, please see your doctor or please see a medical professional. So that's all for now, and like I said, I've included the link below to my website where you can get the new guide. And I'm new to YouTube, so please subscribe if you like my content and find it helpful. And God bless and Merry Christmas.